Welcome to A Guide to a Life Well Lived, number 2. The topic today is anger management, and I'm your host, John Schinnerer, founder of Guide to Self and award-winning author. And you might ask, well, why anger management for a life well lived? Well, here's what I've found in working with successful people. And by success, I mean healthy, wealthy, and happy. And I've met quite a few successful people. I've studied them over the years. And every successful person that I know has found ways to quiet their lizard brain, ways to subdue it, to calm it, ways to work with it instead of against it. It's a key trait for success. So let's go to what is anger management. And according to the Mayo Clinic, anger management is a process of learning. So it takes place over time. It's a process of learning to, 1, recognize the signs that you're becoming angry in the moment. 2, taking action to calm yourself down. And 3, deal with the situation in some sort of a positive or constructive way. And we know from recent research that we actually have 2 separate reservoirs of emotion in us. One for positive emotions, such as joy, love, curiosity, excitement. And the other one for negative emotions, fear, anger, sadness, disappointment. And what I've found in my experience is that many people spend their lives, they go through their entire lives like this, with an empty bucket of positive emotions and an almost full bucket of negative emotions. And the problem with this picture is, number 1, you don't have any positive resources or positive emotions that you can draw from in your positive bucket to help out the other people in your life when they need assistance, when they need support and love. So you're unable to help out other people around you, and you lack a source of resiliency, because we know that positive emotions are a key part of resiliency, being able to bounce back from difficult or adverse times. The second problem is that when your bucket of negative emotions is this full, all it takes is 1 or 2 drops of minor irritations or annoyances and you blow your lid. You lose it, you become enraged, you start yelling and screaming, and that destroys relationships. So the goal then is to work towards something more like this, where you have a bucket of positive emotions that's almost full, so you can help out your loved ones and yourself, and you've found ways to kick over or dump out that bucket of negative emotions. And those are some of the things that I'll be showing you in this series. In fact, in this video, I'll show you one way, the best way I know of, to dump out that bucket of negative emotions, primarily anger. So you might ask yourself, well, how do I do that? Well, first you want to recognize the clues in your body that you're getting angry, so part of it's body awareness. Second, you want to take action to calm down. And third, you want to look for options or possibilities so that you can deal with the situation in a constructive way. And I'll go over this more as we proceed. So here are the physiological clues to understanding that you're getting angry in the moment. And by in the moment, I mean a matter of 1 or 2 seconds. So you might have heard some of this stuff before. I don't know that you've heard the time frame condensed to a matter of split seconds or 1 or 2 seconds. It's really a matter of body awareness and being aware in the moment what's taking place so that you can take steps to interrupt the anger cycle. So first, when you begin to get angry, you'll find that you will over-focus on angry, negative, destructive thoughts. those thoughts and the feelings create a negative thought spiral, where the emotions of anger fuel angry thoughts lead to angry feelings, and it just continues in that destructive spiral until you're locked into anger, and you're at an 8, 9, or 10 on a 10-point scale. So one of the things you want to be aware of is the thoughts running through your head. Those thoughts, they kind of feel like they're running behind the back of your forehead. Second, you get an adrenaline surge, so you feel a power or an energy rush through your body, and it fuels energy to your muscles. It also leads to a jump in heart rate, and this is probably the biggest tell for me, that when I feel my heart rate escalate, I know I'm most likely in the grip of or have a negative emotion overcoming me. And one of the thoughts out there is that if your pulse rate is above 100 beats per second, that's an indicator that you're too emotional to make a clear, rational decision. So anytime your pulse gets over 100, you know you're in the grip of fear, anger, sadness, maybe excitement, but in any case, you're not in the best position to make a clear, level-headed, rational decision. So you want to take a step back, take a deep breath, slow your pulse rate, then look at your options and make a decision. When you begin to get angry, the blood, which you can actually feel when you start to tune into your body, your blood flows to your hands, which turn into fists, and your feet, because your body is preparing you to attack, to remove something from your path, because your brain is saying something is getting in between you and a goal of yours. Remove it. Your muscles tighten up. Oftentimes this will take place in your fists, hands. It can also occur in your neck and shoulders. It can also occur in your jaw. A lot of us have so much tension in our neck and shoulders constantly that it's hard to tell when there's an increase. So one of the things to work on is sort of learning how to relax the neck and shoulders occasionally, so you can tell when there's a bump in muscle tension in your neck and shoulders. Also, anger is indicated by shallow breathing. Again, this is a tip-off to any one of the major 3 negative emotions, fear, anger, or sadness. When you find yourself breathing shallow, which many of us do all day long, we're only using about 10 to 20% of our lung capacity, which means that 10 to 20% is filled with oxygen and the rest is filled with carbon dioxide, which means that we're just holding in bad air, air that isn't useful to us. Our body can't make anything of it. So it's really important to get in the habit of breathing deeply throughout the day. And breath is probably your most important weapon that you have against anger. Because if you can get on top of anger early and remind yourself, oh yeah, okay, just need to take a deep breath, I'm going to back out of this conversation for a second, calm myself down. Using your breath, you can actually unlock most of the negative emotions that you experience. And the way you do that is by breathing into your belly, through your nose, breathe in for 8 seconds, hold it for 2 seconds, breathe out for 8 seconds, typically through your mouth, but it's not necessary. Hold it for 2 seconds, and repeat. And by doing that, you unlock the physiological routine of anger, and you can reduce the intensity of your anger simply by breathing. And then you may notice tension in your jaw. The clenched jaw is a giveaway, but again, a lot of us have that constantly. One of the things that I've heard which makes sense to me is that you cannot truly relax your body unless your jaw muscles are relaxed as well. So one of the skills to work on is simply relaxing your jaw muscle and letting the jaw drop and letting your tongue rest on the bottom of your mouth, so that you can become more familiar with what it feels like to be relaxed.